toward the word work. If we have no vision for ourselves, we will never be happy with feeling as though we are making someone else wealthy while we are missing out in the process. A great friend who is like a brother to me said, "The system I was brought up to believe would grant me success was a lie." He completed a university degree and then worked for multiple companies over 10 years. Even though the, that his approach to life would be a safe one failed him. Two separate companies who had no mercy at the time of the cull laid him off. The last company he worked for gave him a role where his target revenue was $17 million a year. He made the target but only made a salary of $80,000 himself. He contacted the owner of the company to ask for a raise, only to receive a response saying his boss was too busy to discuss it because he was on vacation on his yacht. He made a conscious decision to take his knowledge and start his own marketing business. If you are an employee of a company, make sure you are doing it for your own cause. Build the belief that work is the stepping stone and foundation for your own endeavor. I think having a solid non-income is a great thing, but if you are looking to expand yourself, then use it for your own benefit. Look at it as working for yourself rather than working for somebody else. It may even be something you have on the side, like investing in property or sales. At one stage, I had two jobs and partnership of my own business. I would finish work at 6 p.m., go deliver pizza until 10 p.m., then go and work on my business. You will always find the time if you are committed, and excuses won't get in the way. You may call it work, I call it building a dream. People become addicted to their victimization and start believing that it's an escape or feeling better. But we all know that is not true. Because we are likely to break down and give up not long after. People make things out to be worse than they are, so they don't have to do anything about them. In every area of life, it seems like a pretty good escape, but we are in fact concerning ourselves. Those same people don't want to be disappointed or feel rejection or failure. So they say things like, I am skeptical or I am pessimistic. When faced with an empowering alternative, I believe it's just being too weak to face the truth and admit they see a better way. It does not take courage to be a pessimist. What's wrong is always accessible. But leaders and those who take control over their own lives decide to look at what's right in the same situation. The answer in any time of crisis or victimization is not positive thinking. In the bubbly, saccharine way it's often portrayed, it is great to be upbeat, but we are not going to be like that all the time, period. We can never be just one way in life. Different situations call for different reactions. If your house is on fire, I'm sure you are not going to be skipping down the street singing nursery rhymes. At that time, you won't even be conscious of positive thinking, but you can be intelligent. And by thinking intelligently, you can quickly get yourself together and say, okay, what am I going to do here? How can I make this better? I should start by calling the firefighters. Intelligent thinking helps you to assess a situation properly and create a strategy. That's how positive thinking should be portrayed, especially with any crossroad you find yourself at. The challenge is that most people I come across attempt to think positively, but very few ever get to the core of what they are feeling or experiencing. It's always about intelligent thinking. When you decide to see things for what they really are, not worse than they are, you will always find another avenue for growth. I once had an overweight client who told me that he had a slow metabolism and was big boned. He victimized himself in every way possible and made it sound worse than it was so that he did not have to face the short term pain of hearing the bad truth. I looked him dead in the eye and said, "No, you are obese, and you need to get off your ass and run like you have never run before. Call me the bully or call me someone who cares." A few months later, I received an email from him. It was a picture of him by a hotel pool in China, where he was then working, and I must say, even I was shocked at his achievement. He thanked me dearly because all he needed was to hear someone spit out the truth, and that was enough to suit him off into an empowering direction. For his whole life, his family members and friends had covered the truth because they did not want to feel bad by telling him. That was obviously selfish and contributed to his health problem. I have trained many clients with supposed slow metabolism or who are big boned and they get fit just like anyone else. They say the truth hurts, but don't they also say the truth sets you free? The things that usually hurt us the most are the same things that set us free. I came from a family that did not have a lot of money, and I always had to think of my own way to make it. My parents did not buy me my first car, pay for my vacations, or invest in my business. I never asked them for it because I knew if they had it, they would have already given it to me. For a long time, while seeing people around me getting all those things handed to them, I told myself I was a victim of an unloved destiny. I had decided to look at it in the worst possible way rather than to look at it how it actually was. Here I was in a country where I was surrounded by so many resources and opportunities. My parents provided me with food, education, shelter, and love when so many others never have his experience. I finally realized I had a compelling future if only I decided to look at it that way, and then the situation seemed like a pretty good one. Most times we complain about things that we have full control over. We need to stop lying to ourselves and be completely honest, or else we will never make a change. Others will say they are being realistic when looking at a situation in the worst possible way. But is that the truth, or are they just exaggerating? Being real requires you to be honest with yourself. Take ownership. Observe the situation as it really is, not worse than it is. Now that we have stopped seeing our situation as worse than it is, we can take the next step. If it's true that we can look at things as worse than they are and that view can be real to our minds, who is to say we can't look at things as better than they are? This would have just as much impact on our reaction to a situation, but for the better. It would actually change everything about the situation, and more important, change the outcome of our total approach. You must look at the situation as being better than it is. Even if something seems to be a massive challenge, if you have something great to look forward to, you will find a way to get there. Set up a compelling vision, put things into perspective, and draw out what you can learn from this. Make the vision as real as possible, and you have automatically set up another path to go on. Vision, see it better than it is. Now that you have created something beneficial to work toward, it's time to shape your vision. This calls for an action plan or a strategy that is aligned with your new outcome. Take action in order to bring that very vision into reality. Focus your decision making around it. Remind yourself of the desired outcome and become it. What would you have to believe? How would you have to stand? What would you have to remain focused on? Who could you talk to? What other action can you take to create it to be that way? Question mark. New strategy, action the way you now see it. Thank you very much for listening. This is the end of chapter 11, page number 131 of the book Who Says You Can't, You Do. Thank you.